Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to hear our exciting story at Relevant Gold. I am the co-founder, CEO, and director. Rob Bergman, our other co-founder, Brian Lentz, also our director and chief exploration officer. We started building Relevant Gold after we've built a number of successful businesses in this industry, and with a strong focus on building a real pipeline of high-grade discovery opportunities in one of the best jurisdictions in North America, Wyoming. We trade under the ticker RGC on the Venture Exchange. We're on the OTCQB marketplace under the ticker RGCCF. And we are building foundational value in this business with assembling an incredible team of value creators, a very robust corporate structure, and shareholders that I'd say are bar none some of the top mining investors in the game, and some strategic investors like Kinross Gold who recently came in. Relevant Gold building a belt scale portfolio in Wyoming. You will see some forward-looking statements here, and there's a high degree of risk. We're very early stage exploration, so a tremendous amount of risk. Important to do your homework. I think we do a lot to mitigate some of these front-end risks because of our background and experience. So quick look at that corporate structure. Again, we've only got less than 75 million shares out. We traded about a $20 million market cap. Our liquidity has went up from about 3,000 shares a day to about 180,000 shares per day in the last 12 months. And we've seen a 52% share appreciation in the year of 2024. A lot of that is driven by significant catalysts and continuing our systematic work. As I mentioned, strategic investment by Kinross Gold last July at 30 cents a share, where they bought a 9.9% interest. We also have some great shareholders like Mr. Rob McEwen and Mr. Bill Bollinger, who recently just moved to a 17% interest on the open market in December. So we're very excited about that. And we round out the book with a bunch of high net worth individuals and significant retail. This is just a quick glimpse at our trading profile over the last year to date. I think that they put this out on the 14th. So we've seen some very significant foundational growth last year, a lot of that stemming from that systematic work we have performed. And now we're going to really talk about what we're looking at. We're going after orogenic gold systems in Wyoming because they're some of the richest, highest grade, most prolific systems on Earth. And the largest orogenic system on Earth is the Abitibi Gold Belts here in Canada. It stretches all the way across southern Ontario and Quebec, where you've got these clustered camps of mega deposits, ultra high grade systems that exceed often 10 million ounces. Now imagine if you could go back in time with all the knowledge, data, tools, techniques, and models we have of the Abitibi and apply those insights to exploring these new belts. That's exactly what we're doing in Wyoming. And that thesis of this American Abitibi story was born out of science and data. It wasn't something that we just came up with. This is something we recognize in the academic literature, where Wyoming and the Abitibi were connected when all that gold came into those rocks about 2.65 billion years ago. 500 million years later, you had your major tectonic rifting that rifted off that southern chunk of the Abitibi, taking all the gold with it and putting it where it presently resides in today's Wyoming. So it was really under that thesis that we saw tremendous overlooked potential and really started putting our boots on the ground, building this company and this portfolio since about 2016, 2017. In order to take a big swing, you got to assemble a really foundational company, and we've done that. We have a world-class team of value creators. Our group has created billions of dollars of shareholder value in this marketplace. And this thesis has allowed us to come up with a belt scale opportunity, really creating a true pipeline of high-grade discovery opportunities throughout the state. Fast forward to today, we've got over 50,000 acres of ground across 5 major projects, and we have now 17 high-grade targets across that portfolio, 3 of which have seen some initial drilling, where we've had about a 70% hit rate on intersecting shear-hosted gold mineralization. I've already touched on our strong corporate structure, and the other big thing is this vision we had originally was, if this thesis plays out, we're on the forefront of really creating this high-grade pipeline of opportunities that's really hard to come by in this industry in this day and age. Taking a quick look at that team, Dr. Peter McGaw, co-founder of Mag Silver, he's created a tremendous amount of value through the discovery process in this industry. Sarah Weber, she's an absolute powerhouse here in Vancouver, heads a company called C3 Alliance, focusing on kind of permitting indigenous relationships, communities and such. Ron Parrott, another legend in the game. He's led the discovery of over 30 million ounces of gold in Nevada and co-founded AUEX, transacted on numerous deposits in the billion-dollar realm to major miners. And myself and Brian, co-founders, again, Brian's our Chief Exploration Officer. We've got a background of building businesses, and really a consulting business was our first company where for the last 15 years we've pretty exclusively done work for all of the majors in the industry. Some of the other shining stars are those technical advisors. Dr. Dean Peterson did his PhD in the Abitibi, studying these rocks, went on to lead Newmont's regional Archean gold exploration program up there in the 90s. Tremendous amount of experience, and he leads our mapping teams on the ground. Dr. Tom Campbell, co-author of the Encyclopedia of Minerals and the senior exploration geologist for Homestake and VRIC. And then Dr. Kevin Chamberlain. He is a very, very critical piece of our story, as he's one of the main academic authors that has published the science connecting Abitibi and Wyoming during that gold mineralization event. So a quick look at the portfolio. As I mentioned, we've got 5 district scale assets across this portfolio. We have 2 major camps, our South Pass camp and our Bradley Peak camp. Our Golden Buffalo and Lewiston projects are the only 2 projects that have seen any drilling. We've drilled 3 targets totaling about 6,100 meters. And again, 70% of those holes have intersected shear-hosted gold mineralization, both high-grade and some lower-grade shells around them, what we were really hoping to see with some of our proof-of-concept drilling. At Bradley Peak, we're seeing a 125 square kilometer geophysical anomaly, and centered in the middle of that are some of these very high-grade targets where we've had rock chip samples return 46.8 grams per ton gold, 7.8% copper, 2% zinc, 0.5% lead. These are big systems with big potential. And we're really excited to ramp up a much more aggressive drilling program at Bradley Peak this year. Taking a look at our approach, we're very systematic and diligent. We have a strong technical background, and we know how to create true step change value in the marketplace. And that's exactly what we've been doing for our shareholders. As the largest shareholder, I like to create value for myself as well. And you can see that here, some of the catalysts that have driven these step change values. Obviously, a lot of it comes from doing the work. And that's what we've been able to do. In these subdued markets, we've been able to successfully raise capital and continue our systematic exploration, really putting our portfolio on a pedestal as we look to a rising gold environment. And all that work to date has checked every box now for large-scale, high-grade, orogenic gold systems across these Archean belts in Wyoming with a direct connection to the Abitibi during the time of gold mineralization. And as we've done that work, here's some of the key metrics that have contributed to that success. We've had drilling success on our initial drilling programs, which were really small-scale, first-ever drilling programs to understand the subsurface geology, but we've certainly got lucky with some of our hits there out of those programs. At our Golden Buffalo project, we had a surface trench that produced about 500 ounces of coarse gold. Stop by booth 130 if you want to see big chunks of gold that we dug out of the ground there. We followed that up with a drill program, hit a shear zone 3 meters at 28 grams, including 1 meter at 83.8, proving the system up there. Moved over to Lewiston, where 16 of 17 holes now have intersected that shear-hosted gold mineralization at depth. Looking forward to this year. We're just getting ready to submit our next permit. We're in Wyoming. It's one of the best jurisdictions in the world to operate. I've had the good fortune and misfortune of operating in almost every mineral jurisdiction in North America, and I'd say Wyoming is equivalent to Nevada as far as the USA is concerned. So we have 3 long-term exploration permits in hand already, and we're about to submit our 4th at Bradley Peak. We're also going to continue our geophysical exploration, as we've seen a lot of benefit from the magnetics, and understanding these rocks and mineralization allows us to apply that insight a lot better. And we're going to embark on a 5,000 meter drill program that we're currently planning at Apex target at Bradley Peak, where we have that very high grade gold, copper, silver, and zinc opportunity. So why invest? We're a very tightly held company. You can come talk to me anytime. Again, myself and Brian still hold the most amount of shares of this company that we've earned through hard dollar investments. And alongside us are folks like Kinross Gold, Rob McEwen, Mr. Bill Bollinger. Our upside multiplier of a belt scale opportunity here really gives you exposure to a number of discovery opportunities in a rising gold environment. And we've been able to do that because putting this thesis together has given us this first mover advantage in assembling a world-class portfolio. And we have high grade, at surface, at depth, and a strong market position. So really, you just got to ask yourself, if you could go invest in the Abitibi before the gold rush, how much would you invest? Thank you.